Okay, guys, so we're going to do something really big now, get more into this sampling idea. No need to do a whole bunch of talking in this video, but you should subscribe, get these lessons. I keep throwing them at you also. And you can join us at sampлекings.com, and we also do lessons. You know that for sure. Sampлекings.com. You go to sampлекings.com, and you're good to go. And you check us out. But let's get busy with the lesson right now. So I've got this thing going on here. I've got a chop going on here. This is my MPC. And you see that's my MPC right here too as well. I'll come down to here and you can see the MPC right there. I got this chop going on. I can hit pad number 16 and that will stop it. Hit 16 again, it plays it. Right? That's a good idea. Now, what we want to do is chop this thing up into a bunch of different things. But you see right over here, we are in trim right there in the bottom right hand, right? We're in trim mode. I go to chop mode by hitting there. Here's trim, and then there's chop. Just hit that, you're right there. And so I've got several options here. And these options include threshold. And now it looks at this MPC sample and says, what? You know something? This threshold there, that means that's looking at the highest peaks on these transients. Now transients are these actual spikes you see in the sample. If I go back to here, oh, well, I can't get rid of that, right? So what I want to actually do is I want to go to the software to show you something we can do actually from there too. As I keep flipping back and forth, you'll see here in the software, as you will see on your MPC, I see the drag down here and it's gone. So we see samples, you see slice right there, just drag down on that. And that appears right here on your MPC. So we can chop it up based on how large these spikes are, these little, see this white spikes here, these things here, that here and that here. So it depends on how the distance, it figures out this is the largest one, that's the largest one, this is the largest one, and this is the largest one, depending on the amount of time that goes by. Now, that information is right here on the threshold and then minimum time. But if I come to here and I drag down, matter of fact, let's go back to our MPC. Let's stop this and back here with our MPC again. You'll notice for sure that we got that 65 right here for threshold. I grab that, I turn my data wheel down, and look, we get more and more of these things. Wow, it's just populating, it's just crowded now, it's just too many of them. Right? I'll pull this up again, and I'm going to go up to, 66, 69, whoa, 68, the first one, 67, 66, 65, 64, 63, 62, 61, 60. As you can obviously see, the further down we go in threshold value, the more chops we get. Now, that's cool if you want to just get those chops in where those little spikes are, right? And I do that once in a while, but not really that much. So here we also have regions. And they give you regions. This is like everything's chopped up into 16 different parts based on the region, this region right here. And so that means that these regions are equally distant from each other. Equally distant? Yeah, from each other, right? They're just individual regions. And so if I hit the pads, that's pad 13, 14, 15 in pad 16. And you see them. And so you can see that little simple place along with it. And so that's kind of cool too, because then you can have them in, I guess, 16 groups and play with them any way you want to do that. And you can do that. You can also come to here and base it on BPM. Let's go ahead and do that. This is BPM, beats per minute. Okay, beats per minute, that's cool. So I got beats per minute here. How do I base this whole thing on this idea? Beats per minute? It's pretty simple. You just want to make sure you get these suckers in there. And you can say, well, look, you know, I need to make sure this whole thing is like based on something. And you know what it's based on actually? It's based on what the value have for your beats per minute. Here's the main loop, funky drummer. Cool. That's the main loop we're going to work with. Now you can see right there, it says 97.88. Cool. So now what I want to do is take it and chop this one up. Now before I do that, I'm going to come here on my MPC I want to see it in beats. To do that, I'm going to come right over here, which is beats. I'll tap on beats. I'll close this out like here, press close there, and now I'm on my way. You'll see at the top line here, right up here, is in terms of beats. Then when I start playing the sample, and see, here comes, this is 2. Let's stop that. Press pad 16. Now, this is important because you want to see if it really fits in. I always do this with my beat, looking at that beat ruler. Now I'm going to look at the software right now. And we'll see here in the software, we're not here, come right to here. I can do it in my software right here. Boom. There's the software. Here's 2. So 2's here, and this is just a missing 2. So obviously it's not really there based on the BPM I'm thinking of, but it's close in those terms. So we're close to what the BPM would be. So we know that this is the Funky Drummer sample. And so I'm getting an idea I can actually get there. So what I want to do next is sort of like go inside here and chop it up. That's pretty simple. What I want to do here is we're going to get to the point where we're going to say, okay, let's chop this up. And to do that, I'll go back to here. I want to base it on BPM. And I get here in BPM, and now we look at it, it actually corrected where it's going to be. See that chop right there? It's like based on the same thing. Let me go back and now to the software, and you can see this yourself. And you see there now, it corrected it. This is where it's supposed to be, right? And so sometimes you'll come in here, I'll come in here and do this too. Once I get my chop, I want to move my chop as you would do anything else. You can do the same thing on the hardware. I'm just showing you in the software so you can see it in a larger perspective. I go right to where that beat is at. And that's going to be what? Pad number 9. And you'll see on the MPC, pad number 9's lit. This is representation of the pads right here. You see pad 9's lit. And that's where it's at. So the software does look at it, it sees it, even though we think that this 2.1 is really where it should be at, the software knows this is where it's at right here, which is so cool with the MPC software. It makes it easy to deal with. Then once you got your chops, all your pads or chops that work properly, I can come in, select right here, and you'll see in the screen right here below for the MPC 1 Plus right there, I'm hitting chops right where they are. I hit a chop here, I'll fix this chop here. So right, let's say right there, whatever, let's move it. Let's make this chop here. What's that chop there? I want to move this chop over, wait a minute. See, somebody hit it, you might create a new chop. You gotta go out of here, don't want to do that, want to create nothing new. Just want to drag that current chop over there. If we can select it, we can grab it. Let's go grab it. I never grabbed it now, there you go. And that's it. And now, I hit that chop again. You want to make sure all your chops are correct. Now, once they are correct and you got them the way you want them, you want to come back and say, you know, I want to make this into a program. So I can have these chops right there for me when I want to use them. And I can create these chops, and then I can use it along with the actual beat and have a party going on. Even use the chops from a stem from the beat. We'll say we'll get the bass guitar and the guitar stem and we'll use it. But this is the way to look at your chops, chop them up based on BPM, and it gives you a better outlook on how to deal with this whole perspective of chopping samples. So next, here I've got sample to pad. Now this is non-destructive. This means that it will not destroy the sample and just chop them up. It'll keep it that way. Sample to pad, I'll make a new program to that, right? So I come to sample to pad, see that? And I'm going to assign them. I'm not going to do that. And it's called the Funky Drummer Loop. Forget that. Let's cancel that. I want to make a brand new program. And so by making a brand new program, new drum track using slices, right? And it says pad parameters right there, right? Our options are non-destructive slices. Oh yeah, we want that. We don't want to destroy anything. We want to keep it just the way it is. And it makes it easier. I can create events too. So I'm going to do it. And let's see, what's the name of this sample now for sure? We're going to make sure the name of the sample is currently collected as here. The Funky Drummer Main Loop. That's the name of the sample. And that's going to probably be the name of the program. As you can see here, we got no program called that. So we're going to come back to here and we're going to press do it. And now we got a brand new program. we'll see that right here. It is right here. That's that program. If I go back here to home, that program's present. So every one of these chops, they're everywhere. They're fully right there. See, I got a full level on too right here. I can hit my pads. Now, if they're all correct, they'd be perfect. So I'm doing it in a way where I can chop my samples up. And that's how you want to make your chops when you got the BPM lined up perfectly. Now, there's one more thing I want to do. I want to go back to here, to my sample edit again. And I got these chops already lined up. I may want to make a new program, right? So I got the chops lined up here. I'll go to Program, and I want to make a new one. So I may come in. I want to have it with events, though, this time. And number of bars. I just want to have 2 bars. 2 bars. And then definition, or destination clip, right? Destination clip. And I'll say arrangement. And we're going to have events. We'll press do it. Okay. So now we got something new. Here's another one right here. See that? And so now we got 2 of them. Here's one. The first one I have is that one. Let's go back here to home again. This is the first one I've got. And this is this one here, which is the loop. My second one, which is called 1, is right here. See what it did? It chopped them up to events where each one plays. And if I press play here in the software, so I only set for 2 bars here, and it's got 5 already lined up there, so let's cut this down to 2 bars. There's 2 bars right there. But you see some are overextended, some keep playing, so they're not designed to chop off from one another. But I'll play it again. Now the reason why it happens that way is because we haven't got the right BPM, and they keep continue playing. So if I hit one chop, and you'll hear this chop here. Wait, not this chop. This chop right here. You see that's disconnected. So you've got to really chop properly and get it right. But this is the demonstration for you to understand how to use the BPM and chop up your samples. Also, to get them right, you need to actually get your start and end points. Any questions, hit us up at samplekings.com. We're doing another video too on chopping, to do an overall chopping with the other parameters I could use to chop samples up, except in that video, we're going to use bass, guitar, and organ. Don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube, and you can always get lessons from me. I'm Doc from samplekings.com. I'll see you in a few.